Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be checking out another one of your guys' solar systems. So I thought I'd make it a double header this week, as I've been meaning to catch up on these for quite a while as well. Plus, in the next episode we have a start of a new era of checking out your systems, so stay tuned for that as well. It's going to be pretty exciting stuff. But anyways, with that all said and done, let's finish the last of this old generation of checking out your systems. So let's rock and roll. So it's in the workshop here, it should be there. So it's called the Polaria 1.16 system, and this is submitted by the user Schoolamoff in Discord, so massive thank you to them for sending this system in. But without further ado, let's go ahead and check out what we got here. So hello there. Description is in a Google Doc. Okay, hang on, I've got the workshop page up. Let me just quickly open that. Oh my god, there's a lot of reading. 10 pages! Oh my god! 10? Jeez. Right, that's a bit overkill. Right, so Polaria and Migovan. Greetings, traveller, and welcome to the stellar neighbourhood of Polaria. This database contains a basic and physical and historical description of many notable worlds here. Our galaxy, named Migvian, is a very small spiral galaxy and is actually considered the smallest of the nearest four galaxies. The largest is named the Sombera Galaxy, an opposite name for originated from the mysterious race known as the Sapiens. They are a nomadic and endangered intelligent species of inhabitants every known corner of the Migvian, albeit in very small numbers. They are a bit of a shadow of what they once were. Okay, so where are we? So 10 pages for all of these? Really? I mean, whew. Okay. That's a lot of stuff. Right, so first of the planets we got Decion here. Looking pretty cool as well. Okay. So, what do we got? Oh, hang on, we've got the Lum first. Is that the star? There it is, okay. So the star itself, actually. Okay, let me just quickly... I keep swapping between Universe Sandbox and Google Drive. It's a bit annoying. The Lum is a main sequence star that can be considered high mass, G-type, or a low mass F-type star. It is a large half of the binary involving Gen, although it could technically be considered trinary if you counted the brown dwarf of a new Gen. It's the main source of energy because of the proximity of another star. However, the orbits of our planets are rather contracted, closer to the star than they should be. This has proved to be a good thing, as without this closer orbit to the star, the world of Samati would be much colder. Life would still be possible, but it's hard to tell if intelligence would have arisen on the planet. Okay. Next up we got Decius. This is the first planet, so yeah. Decion. It's a cool looking world. Surface looks pretty beaten up though. So, this planet itself. The first planet of the Lumar system and the hottest, although it's not as hot as some other worlds in Polaria, the sheer heat on its surface shouldn't be underestimated. Temperatures can reach as high as 160 on the night side, while night side only gets as cool as 35. The planet has an atmosphere thick enough to circulate across the planet, and fuel weather which allows rain to fall on rare occasions and remain as pools of water. But as soon as the temperature exceeds 70, any liquid that manages to pool on the surface boils and evaporates. Despite the circumstances of Decion today, we think the world may have used to have a much thicker atmosphere which could have supported more liquid water. Maybe this environment is once home to life. There's signs of more ancient tectonic activity in forms of fissures and ridges making along the surface, and even some of its crust is similar to the seabeds of many worlds. A once blue design is very plausible. Okay. When it comes to the views, the world has it all, from ancient widespread mesas to the resolute plateaus, the vast deserts and awesome canyons to watch a sunrise, seeing the lake-sized puddles that flats evaporate in the swirling fumes and carried high into the atmosphere as clouds akin the stroke of a brush. The entire planet has something to offer. Okay. So next up we got Aistus, which is there. 82 degrees, so pretty warm. That moon is ridiculously close, my god. Okay, so we've got, what's the story between these guys here? So, the first thing you notice when approaching this wet world is a bright layer of clouds masking the surface. Well, for me it was the moon. That moon is so close. But when you break through the clouds, you're met with a vast shallow ocean reaching every corner of the globe. The temperature down here is enough to demand an exosuit and stay out of the elements, even though its high gravity and pressure can take its toll unless you're specialised to live in space. Little sunlight makes it past the layers of clouds and what is broken apart into a washing glow, imposing like a dreamlike aura across the sea. Occasionally something like the older sibling of a flood will come, as the sky unloads an unfathomable amount of water in the form of hot rainstorms, likely to scald anyone. The mixed sound of howling wind, crashing waves, and crackling rumble of thunder echoing off the clouds, rolling endlessly and seemingly without an origin, is a constant number of how alien the waters you sail are. Pretty cool. It should come with no surprise that the people want to live here, and they do. Dotted across the world are small continents, fairly flat and rich in quality minerals. The prevailing winds daft as they make it inland, and storms are less common in these drier regions. An oasis in comparison. You won't find much on this cursed planet, but there are a few small villages managing these conditions. Despite the lower standard of living, those born and raised on this planet can rise to become some of our best scientists and engineers. Also, the native wildlife is friendly and cute, so it isn't that bad. Okay. Okay, so next up we got the sister. It's saying it's a planet here, so we got this one here. But let's quickly just look under the surface of this guy. So there it is. So there's the islands he was talking about. Okay. Cool. What is that up there? That's that other star. Look, that's a brown dwarf, I think. Right. Anyway, so the other object here. So is this a moon or is it a planet? Let's see what it says. So Semeti isn't a planet nor a moon, residing in a binary Iestus. The two formed around the same materials in the same orbit and very quickly fell into orbit around one another. As time went on and life developed on one of the two planets, where are we? A comet, presumably during a late heavy bombardment period, hit one of these worlds and ejected a massive amount of debris, some of which would have carried hitchhiking microbes. Craters that old would likely not survive on either world, another reason why it's hard to tell which planet is the origin of life for them both. Eventually, the intelligent life appeared on the planet in the form of the Tyros. They were adapted to running across the vast messes and plains of the planet's outward hemisphere in search of food, water and shelter. You can imagine the absolute awe of the first Tyros who journeyed to the other side of the planet after centuries of societal development and discovered Iestus, the unmoving sphere in the sky with bright clouds hard to look at during the day. So it's a binary, or a tidy lock binary. Okay, today the Tyros are an interstellar civilization, massive spaceports orbit in binary, but no orbit is perfectly stable in such a system. Even the Lagrange points were subject to atmosphere drag. Nonetheless, Semeti remains close to a utopia as you can get. Species Simova Polaria come to live in harmony with the Tyros, and that's about as good as things can get. Okay, cool. So that's it there. So this one's got more land, as you can see. So they originated on the dark side, and they came around the light and saw that in the sky. Pretty cool. Okay, so moving on. Is it 4? We're going to Fawn next. What do we got? So we got Fawn and Drum. So is that these guys here? I'm guessing it's another binary we got going on here. Okay, okay, so Moon. All right. Okay, so looking like more generic rocky worlds. So what do we got? So this moon with a cursed death sentence is just a few thousand years. Drum will exceed Fawn's roost limit and be torn apart in orbit. Because this process will be so slow, the moon will contort into a bizarre shape, much like the leathery eggs of the two hatchlings, and slowly break apart. We're monitoring the moon every day, eagerly awaiting its destruction. The reason Drum's orbit is decaying was once a mystery. The first interplanetary probe sent back messages of a volcanic landscape on both worlds. Fawn seemed to have stress markings all along its equator as it has been strangled and twisted by something. Kind of like Jupiter and Io, actually. The likely cause was Drum, much more massive than they expected, violently causing tugging. Yeah, it literally is like Jupiter and Io. Okay, sweet. Later, the Tyros discovered an absolutely massive depression on Fawn, wrought by seismic activity and still clearly distinguishable, just north of the equator. Direct evidence of an impact event, undoubtedly. Projections show this impact hit Fawn in its retrograde direction, effectively slamming the brakes on the rotation of the planet. This theory has a lot of evidence to support it, but if it's true, it spells the end for Drum. Since Fawn now has a slow rotation period, tidal friction is forcing its moon to spiral inwards. Eventually, Drum will be drawn too close to the planet and will exceed its roost limit, which will result in the moon falling apart. When exactly this will happen is almost impossible to predict, but we think the moon's destruction will take place in about 4,000 years. That's pretty close in space-time. That's very, very soon, if it is 4,000 years. For anyone alive on the event, they might see dim but thick terrestrial rings that may last a few million years before being stripped by Lamar's wind or Thorn's thin atmosphere. Okay, well, at the end of this, we'll definitely have to make that happen. Okay, next up we got Callus. So let's go. Okay, over here. It's the first of the gas giants. Nice green one. Cool. Okay, so we now arrive at the very postcard of the Lumar system, Callus, one of the few heaviest planets in all of Polaria. It's no surprise that this gas giant world is host to a few wonders of its own, mostly notable its green coloration. The forest view doesn't even have a good estimation because we have surprisingly little data on the planet. Even though there are permanent settlements on several moons in the Callian system, the planet itself remains a death trap. Its magnetic field traps a lethal belt of radiation around it in something of a torus or chains particles captured from the lump. So that's the start. Okay, so what few probes manage to survive their journey either by braving the equatorial range with heavy shielding or going all together and entering the polar cells have found a strange gaseous landscape ruled by a static discharge and exotic chemistry. One longest naturally occurring molecules we've ever found isn't a simple chain of... Oh, that is a emergency vehicle outside. I do not know if you can hear that. That's quite loud. But anyways, where are we? So it's one of the longest naturally occurring molecules we've ever found, and it isn't a simple chain of carbon and oxygen. And would you believe that this molecule is exactly the cause of the planet's green colour? Okay. Nice. Okay, so it's also got rings. Although admittedly they're faint, you can barely see them. They're mostly made from rocky debris and are rather old to reflect almost no light. So kind of like Uranus's rings that are dark as coal then. Okay, pretty cool. Okay, moving on. Let's go to... So it's got moons as well. We can just have a look at those. They're all pretty bog standard as you can see. Alrighty. Yeah, there they are. Alright. Cool. So where are we heading next? We're going to Furrow. Oh, that is one of the moons. Okay, hang on. Where are we? It's just this one here. Alright. Oh, it's just an asteroid. Okay. So, what's it saying? It's worth noting how they display unique characteristics. Furrow is shockingly red and sports a dark band just south of the equator, encompassing the entire object. It was hard to get any sort of mission to this moon because of its low mass and proximity to Callus. So far, I've only sent one probe to these moons. Okay. Next up we've got Nioas. Where's that? God, there's descriptions for each moon as well. My God. Very, very highly detailed. So, it doesn't seem to be phased by the jet of material. The next moon's profile is almost defined by gas left from behind. It's only one of the only blue objects. This is because it is believed to deposit within the inner moon, specifically carbon. Oh, sort of confusion. So it picked up molecules that made it that colour, roughly. Okay, gotcha. The snow's it's snow now, okay. Next up we've got Lu. Where's that? So that's this one. Okay, just another asteroid. It's actually the moon with the second greatest... the largest shepherd moon, okay. It's largely independent from the others, receiving none of Furrow's snow or any orbital disturbances from the other moons. Is a mix of brown and pale pink due to a similar process of Furrow's red coloration. It's just less intense. Okay. Then we got Owen. So that's one of those. So it's a larger moon now. Okay. At last we arrive at the first spherical moon. It shares an orbital resonance with Ias and it's entirely locked to its parent planet. Wherever you land on its surface, you're guaranteed to be met with a biome completely composed of water, ice. There's no such thing as craters here. Kind of like Europa then. Pretty cool. They actually turn the crust into a slow, dynamically floating system. Ice on the surface is eventually pulled underground by a subduction zone, pulled into a slushy lower crust mantle boundary, recirculated and put back on the surface on a divergent ice weight boundary. Okay, nice. Then we've got Elias, which is this one. Oh man, there's so much detail in this. This is crazy. I mean, I'm actually just jumping a few paragraphs. There's just so much here. I don't want to make this video too long and boring for you guys with nothing moving on the screen. So I do apologise for skipping some of it. But yeah, we just want to keep it fit. We don't want to make it too long. So this moon is an old, rough, scuffy, jagged, and other similar adjective you can think of. This moon has a violent past of the Callian system. It will remain for the equally violent future beyond the death of our star. It's the most stable moon, so it might actually be the one to see the future. Okay. Cool. Okay, moving on. So we got Doppler and Dingbat, which are these two here. That was another emergency vehicle outside. What is going on? Oh, wow, Right, anyways, so. Where are we? The mystery isn't isolated, but it may seem that. Oh, so, Doppler and Dingbat. These are unique for several reasons. For one, Dingbat is the only one of the moonlets on record in the entire galaxy and the largest known. So, a moon of a moon. Something else is a similarity between the two bodies. They seem to be deeply connected. Two parts of a unity, a single entity, like one world is split into two. But certainly not, at least they don't appear to be native to the Kalian system. Okay, interesting. So there's those guys. And then lastly, we got this one here, which is the last of the moons. Things keep getting changed. Now we arrive at the last moon. It's a bizarre surface completely filled with immersed lumps. These features are unique, and they haven't been found anywhere else in the entire universe. Although there's a natural explanation for existence. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Okay, moving on. We got this one here. Is that one we're checking out? Okay, so these are Tasman, Rakamaka, and the event. So we've got these two objects here. So one of them's just a reddish asteroid, and the other one is a more spherical object. So what's going on with these guys? Okay. Taswen is a survivor of what we couldn't tell for a long time. Its surface has ancient brutal craters even larger than one Lias, but they aren't as old. It has 4 moons on a rather small asteroid. Wait, does it? Where's the... It says it has 4 moons. Where? What moons? There isn't any there. Okay. There's nothing to... Oh. Okay, interesting. Interesting, okay, right. Okay, I'm gonna... So... Apparently this has moons, but they're not... Okay. And then that's the end of the description. There isn't anything about the rest of the system. Okay. Cool. I have to say, a little on the confusing side with navigating this one, just because there's so much stuff about some of the really minor objects, but there's nothing for the rest of the system. There's no description for any of this, so I guess we're just on our own now, so we'll continue on now. So, there we go. So yeah, this, from what I understood, the reading was getting quite complicated, but this guy here and this one, they were part of a very, very long ago sort of instance. Some sort of interaction between them. But yeah, apparently this has 4 moons, but they're nowhere to be seen, so it's very bizarre. Right, anyway, so where are we? So we checked out all of these guys, didn't we? Okay, so moving on. There's no description for this thing. So here it is. We've got Molia. So it's got some moons as well. Looking pretty cool. City lights on that one. Oh, there's way more customized stuff out here. Okay, nice. So a purple magenta-y atmosphere. Then we've got Ferret over here. Cool. And we've got Lilat. It's another little moon with a ring around it. Cool. Alrighty. So moving on, we've got Sherb over here. Really generic little rocky object in there. Got 1 moon as well. Okay. Now I take a big jump out, so we got this strange Neptune world here. It seems to be just a rogue planet orbiting through it. It's got, although in a binary as well, so we've got 2 Neptune-like objects there. Okay. The Crackle Bod, what is that? So that must be a moon of those 2, possibly. I don't know, it's pretty... Gone trails? Oh, no, nothing, okay. Lots of barrier centres. Okay, so next up we got Gen over here. So this is the 2nd star. It's got its own little system. It's got Peace Rock around it. And it's got its own set of planets as well, so we'll quickly go through all of these. So we'll open up on the menu here, it's just a lot easier. So there you go. This one's got some moons. One of them's an Earth-like, or they're both like Earth-like, actually. There you go. Cool. And you got 1 and then 2. Looking good. Then you got Wish Wash. I like the name. So you got that one there. And then Pish. It's like a desert looking world there. Okay. City lights on it as well. And then Pish and Posh. Posh. Pish Posh. Then we got this one over here. Quite a very similar Jupiter look-alike there. Okay. And we've got Butterball. I like the names here. Viola. Galipfor. Then we've got Tan over there. Is that in a binary or something? Well, it's got some objects nearby. Taurus and Quark. Okay. So there goes, guys. Alright, and then taking an even bigger jump out, we got Nugen over here, which is a brown dwarf. We've got some of its own little planets around it as well. More on the basic side, but yeah, they all are there. And then we take an enormous jump. And there's even more. There's more local stars. I'm assuming these are just... Do these all have planets around them, or...? Oh my god, they do. Oh, man. Imagine if there was reading for all of these. We would literally be here for hours. I don't think you guys would want to watch through all that, I have to say. Be a lot of reading. Right, for real... Oh man, there's just planets around everything. They're all fairly generic though, like you can see. I mean, they don't look really like they're customized. We'll try and highlight them all just to get everything on camera. They're all there. That one's very close. That one, there we go. That one's got a little more features to it. In the very distant reaches of this. I mean, this isn't just a system. This is like a little pocket, a little cluster of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of objects in here. A lot of different stars. We didn't check out this one, did we? And then we've got one more to check out. That yeah, that one at the end there. Humanities. Ooh. There's 2 binaries there. Okay, so they're just an orbit, the single star. And then lastly, I think it's just this one to check out. This one's got an enormous ring system around it. Look at that. Oh, wow. Very big system. And then it's also got its own set of planets as well. Nice. That's a huge, just look at that. That kind of puts like J1407's rings to shame, surely. I mean, that is a big 431 AU ring system going all the way out. That's pretty insane. Look how big that is. Look at that. That's huge. Okay, but there we are. So that does it for everything. But before we finish, let's do that little collision that was spoken of earlier. So it was around this main star, wasn't it? It was these two guys here. The impending doom between these two worlds that were getting a little too close to comfort. So we will now... So it was 4,000 years, he said, wasn't it? So let's go ahead and slowly do this ourselves. So I'll lower this down. So it takes 4,000 years for this orbit to decay. So we will see that in action as Rouge Limit starts to get a little dangerous here. So let's continue lowering it down. We should start to see some action. Come on, surely at that range, come on. Surely, there you go. So eventually, he'll just get shredded. I love the detail on that. Look at all those rocks. Oh, it's very, very laggy. There's a lot of material. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're crashing into the parent as well. Some of that material. I like how me pressing the minus button makes it go further out. That is just so weird. 3 hours. There you go, that's more like it. Yeah, shred it. Let the system play a bit. Yeah, that's getting pretty wild. Oh man. If we go down to 2 hours. Oh, and it just crashes into it. So it fell into it. There you go. So a little bit of action to finish this off. But yeah, there we are. So that does it for the system, guys. So if you enjoyed it, make sure to press that like button down below. And also subscribe for more help us on the journey to, I guess it's 40,000 subscribers now. So I don't think we'll be hitting that anytime soon. But again, guys, a massive thank you for 30k. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, like I said previously, we will definitely have some special stuff planned for that, so stay tuned to see that. Again, a massive thank you to School and Moth for sending in this system as well. Very, very detailed. Apologies, I did skip some of the reading, but I didn't want to make it too long for everyone watching, just keeping the screen on the same planet for like 10 minutes, so I do apologise. But yeah, anyways, with that all said and done, make sure you guys all stay safe out there, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.